Oh, I know these have some big machines. I know. No, it's crazy how stuff's gotten smaller and so much more power.
That was all from the space program.
Yeah. Cheap. Right. Fudashi. All right, 20 jumping jacks, guys. No Greg again. Wow, we're getting great gifts from the above. You like that one, huh? Push-ups, 30.
I guess he's got his cupboards in now.
What if he's on Zoom?
I don't think he's watching this. Yeah, he's sitting there watching him put the cupboards up. You know how that is. He's like, oh, you guys doing a great job. I'll just sit back and watch you. Here we go. What do we got going on here?
Did he get stock cupboards from someplace?
I bet he bought custom. I'm guessing. I can't see Greg not spending more than he had to.
He went to Frederickson's or?
Oh, did he get my Frederickson's maybe?
I think that's what he said.
Maybe. Well, I probably ordered them, for like a catalog, but but not stock, probably. Mountain Climbers 20. What do you get for? You didn't get granite. What do you get for top? Maybe Corian or something? Countertops. I can't remember what he got.
Did you get quartz?
Quartz. That's what he got there. Quartz. All right. Leg push is 30.
He doesn't have the counters yet, huh?
Huh?
He doesn't have the counters yet.
Yeah, it takes a while to get them. Last I know, he was doing a ceiling. They were doing a ceiling.
He said he was drywalling it too, right?
Ceiling and the walls, yes, and stuff, yeah. All right, kayakers 30. I had one guy left out right in. I redid his whole basement, literally. I mean, studs to electric, the heaters, the drop ceiling, the floors. The only thing I didn't do was paint. Put a bathroom in, everything in his basement. His brother-in-law, okay? Tells everybody, see my stuff I did? I just started laughing. I just go, yeah, he painted the walls, yeah. He painted the walls. But I did I don't know how many sheets of drywall. It was impressive getting that drywall down the stairs. It was impressive. Getting it down the basement stairs, a full sheet. You could do it, but it had to be just so. One sheet, not two sheets. 2 sheets too thick. Because the angle you had to go down. It was interesting.
I'm lucky I got some Bilko doors.
Oh, yeah.
Which actually, because if you had to try and do it from inside my house, it ain't happening.
We hid their laundry room with these double doors that open up real nice. Looks like you'd be walking into a really great room. The doors are really pretty. I couldn't believe they spent that money on the doors. I was like, these are expensive doors. And they got these little balls on top with magnets. They come in, they stop, and you would never think the laundry's right there. It's kind of neat. But
So are you like a contractor kind of as a side gig or?
I get sucked in, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I get sucked in. I usually do. I did just a little while ago. Switch. I did about a 85% remodel on a kitchen.
Nice.
The only thing I didn't do, I'm not joking, the only thing I didn't do was replace the cabinets. We used the same cabinets, but I added all the fixtures to them, the handles, all that stuff. And then I did all the floor, backsplash, countertops, plumbing, sink, some electrical lights underneath all the cabinets, new outlets, switched them all out, put all the GFIs in, put them on the right circuits, added a couple new lights in there that they wanted, these little pendulum lights in certain ways, and then they wanted a bar, kind of like a counter over the edge of their kitchen that goes into the living room, so you could put stuff on it if you're serving and food and stuff. That came out really good. The hardest part was, usually what you do is you rip the wall out, you have the wall open, and you build it and get it out from underneath, hook it. And they didn't want me to mess the drywall up there. which I would have made it look good. Not a big deal, because those are big sheets, you know, you're not doing that much sanding. Butterfly, so I said, okay, if you don't want me to touch this drywall on this, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna hook it from the top and from the bottom, a lot of glue, and I put a couple 2x4s on the other side so it would come out so it would have space, and then I put L brackets and I hid that stuff. And I took molding, crown molding, went all around it so it looks like it's really cool looking.
Yeah.
So you could literally sit on this. It ain't going anywhere. It's, I mean, it's got that much reinforcement, you know. So, but
Just had some new appliances delivered today, and I have a choice to make. I can either get my gas pipe replaced, because it's a really old, very thin copper one, is not the code supposedly, or add like a, wire to the breaker to do electric, because I don't have the outlet. I'm just trying to think what the more cost-effective way would be.
you gonna change, you mean your gas stove to electric, you mean?
No, for a dryer, actually. Everything
Oh.
in my house is electric except for the dryer, apparently.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was weird.
Well, some people like gas electric,
Right.
some don't. Electric up here is kind of expensive. So, I mean, there's,
Actually, electric was, are you talking about as far as running it, or?
yeah, running it up here, yeah. Like, say if you got a hot tub, you're gonna get killed.
Right.
You put a hot tub outside or even inside, wherever you put it, I mean, you're looking at like anywhere between $100 to $200 a month extra in electricity. It's crazy.
So I'd probably be better off than replacing that gas pipe then.
Probably, but I don't, you know, everybody's different what they like, the heat, you know, the dry with.
Do you have to replace it all the way from your meter?
A good chunk of it. I'm not exactly sure. A guy came out today that we dropped off the appliances. Like, hey, just letting you know when you do get one, because apparently the dryer is going to get it, and when it'll fit anyways, because it's off by a couple inches. But he's like, you're not going to hook it up, and he showed me the thing there, going pretty far to come from the basement. I was like, oh, I had no idea.
They use the real gas line there.
No.
Oh, so it sounds like what they did was to put in one of those valves that you put on, not a valve, but a T that you put on there, it punctures a, you drill a hole in a pipe, you put that on there and a copper tube comes out of it.
That could be it.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
probably right,
that's,
yeah.
they want, yeah, that's not the code.
That's not cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Legs
So
out straight?
I'll probably end up replacing that before doing the dryer.
But that's easy enough to do it, because, you know, all you gotta do is really tee on, take that out, tee onto it and just run black pipe. Or, I wouldn't even do black pipe, do plastic gas pipe.
You can run that through the whole basement pretty much.
What's that?
That plastic gas pipe, you can go through the whole basement.
You could bury that stuff outside, so.
First time homeowner stuff, man. All beyond me right now.
I mean, I don't know if they'll run it inside, but that stuff's made to be buried.
Yeah, I don't know inside, they might not.
No.
I don't know what the code is on that particular
I
one.
don't either. But I would think, you know, like I said, if it's buried outside, it'd be as tough as
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. 'Cause I had a gas stove at my house when I first got it, just recent, not that long, a couple years ago. And my wife doesn't like gas stoves, so I had to do it 220 wiring, which was a good time. But I had to make room in the breaker box for it. That was the hard part, making a breaker spot. If you got room in your breaker for it, awesome. If you don't have room, then you got a problem.
Yeah. That's what adds
She
up.
doesn't like cooking with gas?
Say again?
She doesn't like to cook with gas?
No.
My wife was the opposite, so I said, you know what, I don't feel like getting a gas line installed up here, so I'm gonna deal with it now.
Any stretch you want to work?
But running that one gas line shouldn't be a big deal, just like what you say.
Depends too, Bob. I'm not going to mention any names. I don't like to do that when I'm on video. But a friend of mine had a gas pipe run and only ran it 6 feet, and it was really expensive.
Yeah.
Real expensive. I was like, how much? I said, did you not call anybody else? I go, you know what, they just quoted you for that pipe? Yeah, it was like 6 feet this way and 2 foot this way, then up. I'm like, yeah. How much did you pay for that? Like $70 a foot? Or what'd you pay for that, you know? It was crazy. It was crazy.
And there's no reason why it should be like that.
Well, yeah, I was blown away when he told me how much it was. And I was like, why didn't you call somebody else? Just to get a second opinion. Well, I wasn't thinking about it, you know. I'm like, yeah.
my wife's totally separate. She doesn't like using electric for cooking. She likes gas.
I think a lot of times it depends what you're raised on. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like my wife's, her parents had electric, so she's raised on electric, so they like electric. I was raised on gas, so.
We have a gas cooktop in one spot. She definitely wanted that. And on the other end, there's a wall oven that was electric to begin with.
Yeah,
So we put in electric, because for an oven, I don't think it matters.
yeah.
But you're right about electric rates. There's no reason why electric rates in this area should be as high.
Oh, they're crazy. They're crazy. They nail us.
Niagara Falls here, we should have near.
Now we got
almost nothing.
now we got windmills going everywhere. I mean, but that electric's not going here.
I go with whatever cooks the food,
Yeah.
you know.
Of course, in Chautauqua County, how many gas wells you got?
There's a lot of gas wells.
Oh, yeah.
Our neighbor,
That's where the first, Fredonia in here is where the first gas well went in.
so I know my buddy right up in Castaiga, there's 2 gas wells right up on our road. And they're far enough away so I don't get any of that fracking effect, which is nice. Because I'm up higher. If I was down lower or across from them, it'd mess up my water. But I'm up high enough where I beat their situation. All right, guys, spread out for kata. Let's do a little kata first. Start out with some kata. Kuna Makata. Yeah, call around before you just do anything. You know, just don't go with one. Because it can get brutal.
So far, the one place out here seems pretty good from what I've seen. Not
Yeah.
good recording, I'd say.
Yeah. You don't want to trash anybody on the internet. It's there forever, if you know what I mean. Even if it's only our students looking technically at that, it's still there forever. You know what I mean? Somebody else can always loop into it. Like if my name's mentioned in an article ever, I can get to that article. So,
Right, same. Oh, my name on ratemyteacher.com sometimes.
oh yeah, rate my professor. I'm on it all the time. I asked him how I get in there so I could do it. Rate myself.
Right?
Right? The students are lazy. I have that one in there. Huh? Now that's kind of messed up for high school or middle school, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. It's just all opinion there for that.
Yeah, it's you gave them a hard time or told them to do something, now you're a bad guy.
Yeah, give a lot of homework, you know, refuse to read assignment,
Yeah.
then I'm the biggest jerk. Teacher doesn't hold them accountable for anything, all 5 stars, you know?
Yeah. Well, my students actually rate me every semester at college.
Your choice or theirs?
Theirs. Through the school. So they, it's a survey thing. The only thing, if it comes out bad in a couple of them, it just lowers your score. But if you were to get like a really, really low score, you're definitely getting talked to. The only benefit was when I got scores, I've gotten them pretty high all the time, but I've gotten some real high ones and I've had people come up and then they give me a raise. So,
Nice.
you know, I was like, oh, this actually worked in a favor for once.
Like, yeah, here you guys are doing service thing, here's $5, here's $5.
If you fill that survey out positive, I'm going to give you a little extra cash. But
In my stage, I tell students, rate me honestly, you know, of course, the
Yeah.
evaluation be honest, because you're not gonna get me fired and you're not gonna get me a raise.
yeah. Well, because you're tenured, though. You've been there forever, so and you're tenured.
So they do say, you know, do you really read these? Say, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
And
because
I
you get to
appreciate
see it.
any comments.
And I get it. I can see it, too. You see other comments.
Yeah, I tell them.
You just don't know who it's from, though. But, yeah.
I mean, I tell them things like this. I say, if you think that there are things that went well,
Put it in
let
there.
me know.
Yeah.
If you think that there are things that did not go well,
Put it in there.
let me know.
Yeah, that's how you get better.
And I said that doesn't mean I'll change what I do, but I do appreciate your feedback.
Oh, sure, because if you're getting, out of 10 people, if you're getting 8 feedback saying this didn't go well, then okay, they didn't get what I was teaching. Maybe I got to change it a little.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
I tell them I pay attention to that. You know, the scores themselves,
Yeah. Because it's weird how they do it, you know.
it is. There are a lot of people that And the fact that they even talk about how research shows that those really don't do much, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of improving teaching or anything.
When you come up from here,
Yes.
you're here.
Uh-huh.
As you go to step and punch, bring both hands up. Now step and punch, left hand. Or right hand, sorry, right hand. Now left hand. And put your other hand up to your face. And your thumbs, make sure you tuck them good. There you go, okay? It's a little different than the traditional pulling it back to her side.
Sure.
This is more of a street self-defense type kata.
I'm gonna take it back in that spot then.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
That's the part that just feels awkward because I've done the other one so much that I'm like, I get up and I'm like, wait.
No, it's at the end.
Yeah.
It's at the end. That's the last thing you learn. I can videotape you with this and put on YouTube for you.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably already up there somewhere.
You might be on one of
It'd be
them.
really interesting to see day one to now, like just in a couple months, you know, seeing
Yeah.
when I do the knife hand guard. So this hand's up here by my face, I would imagine.
Mhm.
Right? This other one.
On your heart.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. So it felt weird being here, but yes, here. That makes sense.
For that one.
And does it open, close?
Open, and then when you go to move, you close them.
For that?
And then, right, okay?
Okay. And at the end of each one, is it all katas that you do the fudachi? Okay.
Means you're done.
Gotcha.
When you bow, you're like showing you're done. And when you're going back to ready stance, it means I'm ready for the next thing you want to do. Okay. That's why they call it ready stance.
Makes complete sense.
The chi means attention, means I'm finalizing what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Kyoshu. That's the one you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kishu, Koshu, depends who's pronouncing it. Yeah, potato, tomato.
For the kiais, it's always the right hand pretty much, right? The kiai, your right kiai, you know, punch, and the elbow strikes the kiai. The knee strike as well, is also one, and then the snap kick is one as well. And then on impact, there's a lot like right as well.
And then left hand at the end is ki. And then after you're done saying this stuff, I don't want to fight, you ki there too, in the beginning.
Right.
A lot of ki's in this stuff. It's forcing you to breathe.
Right.
A ki is just your diaphragm, like you're doing a cough,
Yeah.
pulling your diaphragm up. So if you were to get hit, it would knock the wind out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you got wind in you and I hit you, fight's gonna be over. Because you're like, you're trying to breathe.
I'm gonna take your word on that. I'm gonna ask you not to prove that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you ever want to know, not a problem.
Well, I've
Especially
learned.
when you get sparring gear. I don't have to hit hard. I just gotta watch when you breathe. No, it's a hard thing to do. It really is.
Sure. I mean, even
You don't learn that stuff until you're up higher, because it's too complex. Because you got all this other stuff to learn about fighting, and then later on I'm like, watch a person breathe. That's when you hit them.
What kind of gear is it? What does it look like? Is it? I'm assuming it's the hand stuff. Is there?
Yeah, it's
or is it feet or-
about 4 or 5 ounce gloves. The hands are up to here,
Uh-huh.
and your fingertips are open, so you can actually grab.
Cool.
And then the foot gear, we have special gear we use. Just that way everybody uses the same thing.
Sure, sure.
Because if you don't have people using the same thing, not good. I've had people come in here with duct tape on stuff. And duct tape's like leather.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to cut right through you as it hits.
Yeah.
I've had people come in with stuff that I wouldn't hit anybody with because it was so thin. It's like paper, you know?
Mhm.
And the feet cover the top, your shins. You know, headgear, we highly recommend you wear the whole thing. Mouthpiece, cup, you know, stuff like that, we highly recommend.
You don't have to sell me on the cup. That's a given.
That's an accident thing that you want to make sure you can stop before you scream. Even the full face is good because until you get good, you'll understand.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get hit in the face all the time.
Whatever comes, like the thing on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
purchase, then
Yeah.
I wear whatever.
None of the guys that have been here a long time will wear the open face because they have confidence and they've been doing it a long time. But I don't recommend it because once you get popped in the face once hard, and you got to go somewhere and your nose is broke or your eyes big, everything changes. I even tell my college kids or whatever, anybody I'm teaching, I'm like, hey, I play mean games all the time. I'm about to get hit eventually.
Yeah.
So if I come with a fat lip or black eye, that's all part of what I do. That means somebody caught me. In fact, we could be just grappling and you could hit me with an elbow and I could come out with, whatever, stitches. Things happen, that's Vince, it happens easy.
What's that?
Oh, just grappling or just moving. Self-defense, we've had people hit. Not supposed to, but accidents happen.
Self-control?
And then all of a sudden you're walking on your ice pack, or all of a sudden, hey, go get an ice pack because we got hit in the lip, and we're trying to stop it before it's too bad. If you catch stuff pretty quick, it helps.
Sure.
What's that, your Kishu?
What order?
Kishu,
How I learned or how you learned? Yeah, you like to go down Kishu.
Jordan and Kishu, then what's after that, Toby? Or what traditional?
Oh my gosh, you mean back from when you did? Yeah, I'm trying to remember it. I've changed so much. There was the originals, okay, not the expert history, but the original, was Ajimante, Itatsu, Mitsu. You never did Yasuo, okay? Then you did Ichibanbo, and you did Yonaka. Then you did Shimizu. Then you did Yodan. Then you did Kishu. Then you did Toby 1 and 2. Yeah. Most likely. That's how you did the originals.
And then after Toby is what?
Yeah, the two Tobys, yeah. Did you do both or just do one? I don't remember.
I learned Toby too.
You
And
never
then
did Toby?
later on I learned Toby.
Okay, so you only had to do one then. Yeah, then Twilight, then. Yeah. Now you're doing sword and whatever else. You dabbling. The dabble master. But you had 5 weapons back then too. They only got 3 now. Huge difference. 6 katas, I think, and 6 katas and 3 weapons. 9. It used to be 15. So, and you had a lot more words back then too. That's a lot to ask. But we had 2-hour classes, so you get a lot more done in 2 hours. And next move. Here you go. Left one, next one. Step down. Right hand comes up like this, there's a chop. And then left hand, and then down. So here's some, yeah, right here. Yeah, and that foot's gonna hit the ground first and that chop's going right after.
Okay, so as soon as that comes down,
The hand should be almost right there. So if I were to do it faster, I'm just showing it slow through. If I'm here like,
so it's really kind of,
oh, yeah, I'm trying to put the power, yeah.
yeah, so the foot's bringing it down.
Oh, you're using your body weight.
Right, yeah, yeah,
The foot is just putting where you want to put it.
right. Yeah, so it is breaking it down,
Sure.
the whole
You
thing.
saw my arm, it comes back way like this.
Right,
And I'm trying to really bring that axe down.
okay.
Okay? You just Vince would try to cut one of his ears off.
I'll give that a whirl from again.
Sure.
Let's see, so,
You start from the beginning.
I'm like this.
Very well. Cross body.
Like that.
Yep, kick. Bring your hand up, get that hand up. So you start kicking, get that
Yeah,
hand up.
as soon as I,
First that kick, get that hand up. You did the kick first, okay? Kick, hand up. Now the hand should be almost down.
this,
Yeah. Right. Okay?
does this come with that, you know?
Yeah, they come
should
together.
just be
Oh, they come, well, this hand's gonna come back a little faster because that's shorter distance to travel.
Right.
Because you're here, so if I'm doing this slow motion, boom. This hand's gonna be shorter to go here, then this hand's gonna be way back here. Okay? So this is gonna get to your side faster, okay? So when I'm kicking, watch. Got my hand almost to my side already?
Mm.
Okay?
So the kick comes off, so,
It's okay.
so I'm like this. Right? Kick comes off.
Yep, now finish, snap it, snap it. There you go. Now snap it, rechamber. Now you go to put it down, now pull your hand up. As you rechamber, that hand's coming up, you go down. Okay?
Yep.
I even rechamber, I don't just rechamber here. I actually bring my knee up a little higher so I can get it along onto my hips. So I'm not just doing this. See what I'm doing? This is called stepping straight. This is actually, boom.
And then as that's coming down,
And then say your fingers straight, you break your fingers. So you want to turn your wrist like this, so you're shaking so you can.
oh, okay,
Okay, so you hit this
so
one.
not straight, but,
Yeah. Like this. Yeah. Okay?
yeah.
You hit with your fingers, you break your fingers.
Right.
Unless you're training this. When you're on hitting your fingers all the time, it might be okay.
No, but I see what you mean.
Okay?
Okay.
Hey, Jimmy, rock and roll. I should tell my way. What are you gonna do? First one down. First one down.
That was a little more dynamic than a lot of the ones. Yeah, it's more dynamic.
Yeah, no, it looks
All the time, you know,
very technical.
all the time. You know,
When I get to the end, those are the hardest parts. It's hard to get those kids.
I think it started from again, and then you that's cool.
Yeah, it's brown belt. I don't know. There's Toby 1 and Toby 2. That was Toby 2.
Uh-huh.
That one's brown belt. It's almost the same, but the kicks are harder than the others.
There's a natural tendency to keep it straight, but,
I see a lot of people. I don't want to hit with that. I hit what?
doesn't really help to, almost like touch your head on it. But it's almost like it gets it in the right angle right here.
Scary. Their lasers are longer, like, you get the same effect for like 2 months or 3 months. These lasers not very long. Yeah. Remember you watched anything? Jim, you okay with that? That's gonna take a little time to get used to, get frustrated with it. Alright guys, sorry I didn't caught the whole class, I apologize. Sorry, I get involved with it, time flies, I apologize. You guys, that's all good. It's all good. But I feel bad because as soon as I try to do more,